All right. First and foremost, I want to say, Call Halalyam, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakal Kradash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who taught me this truth and who rule well in this truth. Shalom to the 144,000 and the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel that scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Peace and mercy unto you. You Negroes, you Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, West Indians, Haitians, and Brazilians. You are the true Hebrew Israelites that the Bible speaks of. You are the true chosen people of the book, all right? So I'm watching this fool here, Vocab Malone, right? I'm watching his live, okay? And out of nowhere, they start talking about the book of Revelations, all right? The 20th chapter, all right? And then Vocab starts to read it. And then when he reads it, he just stares off into mid-space, man. All right? He just stares at homeboy, man. Right? Expecting him to break it down. He can't even break it down, man. All right, they just start talking some bullspit, some nonsense about it, man. They read it and they have absolutely no understanding of what they just read. They don't even break it down properly, man. They start talking some nonsense, man. All right, and this guy here, I don't know who he goes by the name of Judah Natsara. All right, you could tell he's bugged out, man. All right, because he kept saying the phrase New Testament Israelites, man. New Testament Israelites. So I'm guessing he a non-Messianic Jew, man. All right, someone who doesn't believe in Yahweh Shai, the New Testament, man. He only believes in the Old Testament. Is what I'm guessing. Right? And if that's the case, what is Isaiah the 53rd chapter talking about? Who's that talking about, man? All right? In the 5th verse when it says by his stripes we are healed. Huh? Who's that talking about, man? It's talking about Yahweh Shai, man. You understand? But anyway, I'm gonna play this video, all right, and let you see the nonsense, all right, and then we're actually going to break down, all right, the book of Revelation, the 20th chapter, the right way, all right, and if it be the Spirit of the Lord, I might do the whole chapter, all right, but I just might break down the part that he read, all right. You Vocab Malone, you have absolutely no understanding of this book, man, all right. Both of these guys, man. All right, they're not able to break down the prophetic scriptures of this book. They're not able to break down the dark sayings of this book, man. All right, because they're not the true prophets of the Lord, man. All right. So let's get into this nonsense, man. All right, and then we're going to break down Revelation, the 20th chapter, the right way, man. All right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, man. All right.
Okay. So in Revelation 20, okay, well, so it says,
can I read it real quick?
So people be beheaded. Oh, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, just so people know what we're talking about, because you and I know, but okay, I'm going to read Revelation 20, which Jude is asking about, everybody.
And I don't know what version he reading out of, but, we stay with the King James, So, but just listen, man, all right? They had... Oh, man, all right, just listen.
And it's a good question, by the way, so I appreciate the question. I don't claim to be an eschatology expert. Some of these guys kind of bluff. They act like they know so much, but it's like, why should we trust a one Westerner with prophecy? You guys got 1999 wrong. But here we go. Let's look at.
You hear them? He always trying to come at the Hebrews, man. All right, you better hope you are not an Edomite, man. You better hope you are not an Edomite, man. All right, you better hope at least you're another nation. All right, besides Esau, Edom. All right.
20. Then I saw an angel coming down from heaven, holding in his hand the key to the bottomless pit and a great chain.
Yeah, who's that angel, Vocab? Who is that angel? All right. And what is the bottomless pit, man? All right. And what does the chain represent? What is that talking about, Vocab? But he gonna read all the way down to the 6th verse. All right, I'm gonna just let him. I'm gonna just let the video play. He gonna read it and then he just gonna stare off into space, man. Watch.
Seized the dragon, the ancient serpent, who was the devil and Satan, and bound him for 1,000 years, and threw him into the pit, and shut it and sealed it over him, so that he might not deceive the nations any longer, until the 1,000 years were ended. After that he must be released for a little while. Then I saw thrones, and seated on them were those to whom the authority to judge was committed. Also I saw the souls of those who had been beheaded for the testimony of Jesus, and for the word of God, and those who had not worshipped the beast or its image and had not received its mark on their foreheads or their hands. They came to life and reigned with Christ for 1,000 years. The rest of the dead did not come to life until the 1,000 years were ended. This is the first resurrection. Blessed and holy is the one who shares in the first resurrection. Over such the second death has no power, but they will be priests in God of Christ, and they will reign with him for 1,000 years.
Now look, it says.
You see, he looking at homeboy, expecting him to break it down. Homeboy not gonna be able to break it down. We already know the Lord not dealing with him, man. He just staring at his Bible, man. All right, break it down, Vocab. Break it down. Come on, man.
Priest. Can you read that one part again where it says they should be priests?
Look, they can't even break it down right.
Over such the second death has no power.
Yeah, Vocab. What is the second death? Huh? What is the second death? Come on, Vocab. What is the second death?
They will be priests of God and of Christ, and they will reign with him for 1,000 years. So that's Revelation 26, chapter 20, verse 6.
So do you remember Paul says, he says, we are a kingdom of priests. I forgot.
1 Peter 2:9. That's Peter quoting the Old Testament in relationship to the Christian church.
You see, they just start talking nonsense. They not even breaking it down, man. Break it down, man. I'm gonna break it down, man. All right. I'm gonna break it down, but I want y'all to hear this video a little bit more, man. All right, and then we gonna get into Revelation, the 20th chapter, man. All right.
Are you talking about 1 Peter 2:9?
Peter does it, and Paul says, we have a high priest who is interceding for us right now.
Okay, yeah. I think you're talking about the book of Hebrews, probably.
Yes. I think it's the book of Hebrews, right? So yeah, I'm like, well, now look, I'm not saying, I'm saying, hey, look, to me, if my opinion, which you're a Christian, so you would know about this more than I would, especially the book of Revelation, which I have studied, but I'm not a Christian, but so right? I heard, I'm not going to say his name, he probably doesn't want his name mentioned, but there's an elder of a well-known camp who says that the 1,000 years of Satan was back in the Middle Ages?
Yeah, those 1,000 years was talking about the Dark Ages, man. Yes, it was. All right? Those 1,000 years was talking about the Dark Ages, man. Yes, it was. All right, and we gonna break it down, get in more depth into it, so whoever may be watching could understand. All right, we gonna break it down the right way. All right, give you the understanding of what those 1,000 years are. All right, and who was ruling during that time and who wasn't ruling during that time. All right, but let's just keep watching, man.
Oh, really?
Something. Yeah, like there was like the Middle Ages or the Dark Ages was the 1,000-year reign of Satan.
No, it wasn't the 1,000. That's when Satan or Esau Edom was bound, man. All right. See, he doesn't even know the scriptures, man. Talking about he studied the book of Revelation, but don't even know what the scripture says, man. The hell you talking about? No, the 1,000 years wasn't when Satan was ruling. No, that's when he was bound, man. Satan talking about Esau Edom, the devil, the serpent. All right, we gonna break it down. We gonna break it down, but keep listening to this madness, man.
And so I'm like,
who says that?
Orion Block and Gray Millstone.
Really?
Sorry, I ain't a snitch, but I'm not.
You see how they come at the true prophets of the Lord, man. You see how they come at the true prophets of the Lord, and they kind of actually putting words in his mouth because they saying that he said this, but the way you said it wasn't even the right way. All right? So no, he didn't say that, man. You understand? You didn't even break it down the right way, and then you saying the prophets, one of the prophets of Great Millstone, all right, broke it down that way. No. Come on.
Going against them, I'm saying this is what they teach, and I've always been kind of confused. Like, okay, if Satan's rule for 1,000 years was the Middle Ages,
no. That's when he was bound. Satan talking about Esau Edom, all right? The devil, the serpent. He was bound for 1,000 years during the Dark Ages, man. All right, because during the Dark Ages, who ruled? The Israelites ruled. all right, during the Dark Ages when they were known as Moors, all right, during the time of the Byzantine Empire, man. We ruled the Israelites when they were known as Moors for 1,000 years. And then Satan, the serpent, Esau, Edom, was bound, right? Because he was nowhere near in power. He was nowhere near in rulership. All right, so he was bound for 1,000 years, and then he was loosed for a little season, which is now. But hold on a second. We're gonna break it down. We're gonna break it down. Let's let this video play a little more though.
Then when's the 1,000-year reign of Christ? I'm like, I can only think of, it must be the
that's talking about the kingdom of heaven, man. When we reign with Yahushua for 1,000 years, when the other nations go into captivity for 1,000 years, that's talking about the kingdom of heaven, man. When Yahushua is here already, all right, and the kingdom is established, man. All right, and we're already immortals at this time. All right, Lord willing, I'll be part of that number, be part of that elect. All right, but let's keep reading let's keep watching what they talking about, man.
Christians ruling now, because I'm thinking that the 1,000 years is not necessarily a literal 1,000 years. It could be like a symbolic number.
For example,
it was literally about 1,000 years. All right, when Jake came into power around the 300s, all right, and then we ruled all the way to like the 1300s, 1400s, man. All right.
Example, like where the Bible says that he owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. That's an example of a symbolic. It's You
see what they talk? He's talking a whole bunch of madness, man. All right, so let's get into this, man. Let's get into the Book of Revelations, man. All right, so whoever may be watching, get out your scriptures. All right, get out your Bibles. All right, and we gonna break this down the right way. You understand? All right. So let's get it. All right. This is Revelation 20:1. All right, this is the King James version, all right, which is the most accurate version of the scriptures, man, because it comes straight from the Hebrew, man. It's straight from the Hebrew and straight from the Greek, man. All right, one and done. All right, one translation. All right, it doesn't go through 5 different translations and then into the English. Nah, straight from the Greek, from the Greek straight to the English. One and done. Boom. All right. It doesn't go through 8 different translations. All right. So let's get it, man. Revelation 20:1. Let's read it. All right. It says, and I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. All right. Now that angel is talking about Yahushua. That angel represents Yahushua, man. All right. The bottomless pit, all right, is Europe, and the great chain represents slavery. All right, captivity, man. All right, because it says, all right, and I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. All right. That 1,000 years. All right. Is talking about the time of the Dark Ages, which is also known the time of the Byzantine Empire. All right. Who ruled during the time of the Dark Ages? Our people did. All right. The Israelites ruled during the time of the Dark Ages, man. All right. When they were known as Moors. All right. It says he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. That old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, that was bound for 1,000 years, is talking about Esau, Edom. You understand? Look at the mouse. All right. It says, and he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, that same old serpent that was in the Garden of Eden. All right. That beguiled Eve. All right, that old serpent, that same old serpent that was in the Garden of Eden that beguiled Eve, all right, which was Esau, Edom. Back then, he was known as the wicked, all right. Before Edomites were known as Edomites, they were known as the sons of the wicked, all right. That old serpent, all right, was one of the sons of the wicked, which were the Edomites. During this time, they were known as the sons of the wicked before they were known as Edomites, all right. It says, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. All right. Yeah, because the Edomites, all right, they were bound for 1,000 years because they were nowhere in power. They were nowhere near rulership or power. We were the ones that ruled for 1,000 years during the time of the Dark Ages. Where were they? They were nowhere near in power, nowhere near in rulership. So this is what this is talking about. Esau, Edom, all right, that same old serpent, all right, that was in the garden of Eden that beguiled Eve, all right, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years, all right. That's talking about Esau, Edom being bound, nowhere near in rulership, all right, during this time. He was bound, all right, because our people were the ones that were ruling. Esau, Edom was living in the caves. They were living in bushes, walking on all fours, all right. They were driven from men, all right. They were driven from society, all right. This serpent that is talking about, all right, which is the devil and Satan, all right, is talking about Esau, Edom, all right. It says that he was bound for 1,000 years, all right, because Esau, Edom, he was nowhere near in power, nowhere near in rulership during the time of the Dark Ages. He was not ruling during that time. We were ruling during that time. So that's what it means that he was bound for 1,000 years, right? He was no longer, he was not able to deceive the world or rule the planet Earth in wickedness. He was in chains. He was in captivity, man. He was living in the caves while we were ruling. You understand? All right. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, all right, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. All right. So that old serpent, all right, which is the devil and Satan, is talking about Esau, Edom. All right. It says, and bound him 1,000 years. Esau, Edom was bound for 1,000 years during the time of the Dark Ages. He was nowhere near in power, nowhere near in rulership. We were the ones that were ruling. All right. While we were ruling this planet Earth during the time of the Dark Ages, he was living in the caves, all right, of the Caucasus Mountains. All right, the mountains of Georgia, Russia, the Caucasus Mountains. That's why white people are known as Caucasians, man. Because they were living in the Caucasus Mountains before they came back into power during the time of the Renaissance era. You understand? All right, because the word Caucasian means cave dweller. All right. That's why they're known as cave dwellers. All right, Caucasian, because they were living inside the caves of the Caucasus Mountains. That's what Caucasian means. Cave dweller, man. All right. It says right here, let's start at verse 1. It says, and I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. Because that old serpent that was in the Garden of Eden, the one that beguiled Eve, all right, was one of the sons of the wicked, all right, which was the Edomite. All right. Before they were known as Edomites, they were known as the wicked, the sons of the wicked. All right. And it tells you that in Malachi, the 1st chapter, the 4th verse, that the Edomites are known as the wicked. All right. The border of wickedness. All right. So that Edomite, which was known as the wicked during the time of the Garden of Eden. All right. That same old serpent. All right. This is the same serpent it's talking about, man. Esau, Edom, all right, he was bound for 1,000 years for during the time of the Dark Ages. He was nowhere near in power, nowhere near in rulership, man. All right, he was driven. They were driven forth from among men. It tells you that in Job, the 30th chapter or the 31st chapter, if I'm not mistaken. All right, it says, and cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him. All right, let me read it from the top one more time. All right, and I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. All right, and he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years, and cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more. All right. Yeah, he was not able to deceive the nations for that 1,000-year period, man. Right? Because when Esau Edom's in power, that's what he does. He's the devil. The word devil means deceiver. All right. When Esau Edom comes into power, when the white man comes into power, that's all he does is deceive the earth, man. All right. Deceive the people of this world, man. All right, and cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him that he should deceive the nations no more till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loose for a little season. All right, and that little season is now. All right, and it started with the Renaissance era. All right, because after the Dark Ages, all right, the 1,000 years that he was bound, all right, was the time of the Dark Ages, all right? But after the Dark Ages was over, came what? The Renaissance era. The word Renaissance means rebirth. Rebirth of what? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man coming back into power, all right? Because after the Dark Ages, when we ruled, we fell from the rulership of this planet Earth, and then Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, came back into power, man. All right? It says that he should deceive the nations no more till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that, he must be loose for a little season, yeah. And that little season is now started. It started with the Renaissance era, all right? Around the time of the 1400s, the 1500s, all right? All right? Till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that, he must be loose for a little season. Now, when you read Revelation 1 and 3, all right? All right? It's talking about the time of the Dark Ages, all right? And then when you read 4 through 6, it's talking about a time period that's totally different, all right? See, when you read Revelation 20 chapter, it jumps from different time periods, all right? So verse 4 through 6 is talking about something totally different. But then when you read 7, all right, it jumps back, all right? It goes back, it leads off from where verse 3 was, all right? So when you read 1 through 3, it's talking about during the time of the Dark Ages, all right? And then this is talking about something totally different. But when you read 7, it goes back to what where verse 3 left off, all right? It jumps back to where verse 3 left off, all right? So let's read 4 in Revelation 20 and 4. It says, and I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them, and I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua, yeah, the true prophets of the Lord. They're going to be beheaded, all right, for the witness and the word of the testimony of Yahushua, which is his true name, all right? The true name of the Lord is Yahushua, man, right? The true prophets of the Lord are telling you that the true name of the Lord, all right, is Yahushua, man, right? They're not telling you that his name is Jesus Christ, all right? They're not telling you that his name is Ahaya or Yeshaya, none of that nonsense. The true prophets of the Lord are telling you that his name is Yahushua, man. All right, and the true prophets of the Lord are going to be beheaded for the witness of Yahushua, man. All right, it says, and I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them, and I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua. All right, you see? And for the word of God, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image. The image is talking about the New World Order. You understand? Neither received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. All right? So the true prophets of the Lord, all right, they're going to be beheaded. The true prophets and the true servants of the Lord, they're going to be beheaded, all right, for not taking the mark, man. All right, the mark of the beast, which is the RFID micro C hip. All right, that is the mark of the beast, man. The micro C hip, the chocolate chip. All right, that they want to implant in you, man. That is the mark of the beast, man. All right, it is a physical thing. The mark of the beast is a physical thing. It is not a spiritual thing. It is a physical thing. All right. It says, and I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them, and I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua. You see, the true prophets of the Lord are going to be beheaded. All right, for testifying of the Lord Yahushua, man. All right, and of the word of God, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Yahushua 1,000 years. That's talking about the 1,000 years we're going to rule over these other nations forever. But this is the 1,000 years, which is also known as the first dominion. All right, we're going to have the other nations in captivity, man. All right. And after those 1,000 years, they're going to be able to go out into their lands and live peacefully, man. All right. Neither have received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Yahushua for 1,000 years. All right. This is talking about the kingdom of heaven. All right. This is talking about the kingdom of heaven. All right. But the rest of the dead lived not again until the 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection. All right. Blessed and holy is he that has part of the first resurrection. On such the second death has no power. What is the second death? The second death is talking about the lake of fire. All right, the lake of fire is also known as the second death, which is America being burnt on fire, being wiped off the face of this earth by nuclear missiles. All right. Blessed and holy is he that has part in the first resurrection. On such the second death has no power. But they shall be priests of God and of Hamashiach, and shall reign with him 1,000 years, man. Right? That's talking about the elect, man. All right. That's talking about the elect, the 144,000 and the 1/3. Blessed and holy is he that has part in the first resurrection. On such the second death has no power, but they shall be priests of God and of Hamashiach, and shall reign with him 1,000 years. All right. First and foremost, is talking about the 144,000. All right. So let's keep reading. Now it's about to go back to where we left off in the third verse. It's about to go back into this. All right. So it says, and when the 1,000 years are expired, you see. All right. So let's read this one more time. The third verse, and cast him into the bottomless pit, which shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loose for a little season. Yeah, so that's talking about Esau, Edom being loose for a little season, all right, which is now. All right, jumping to verse 7. And when those 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loose out of his prison, which is now. All right. Through the works of Esau, Edom, all right? Esau, Edom being the so-called white man, all right? And shall go out and deceive the nations, you see? All right? So soon as Esau, Edom came back into power, all right, he started deceiving the nations just like that. Just like that, boom. He wastes no time, and that's exactly what he did, all right? As soon as he came back into power, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, all right, during the time of the Renaissance era, the very first thing he did was start whitewashing everything, man. He took all the images, our images that we drew on the walls, all right, and start whitewashing them. It's called iconoclasm, all right? Get a book called Russian Icons. It's impossible to find that book, man. That book is like $1,000. Why? Because it has the truth in it, man. All right. It has all the actual images, man. All right. All the apostles and all the saints. All right. The images of our Lord. All right. The angels all being so-called black men, man. All right. And then they whitewashed them, man. It's called iconoclasm, man. All right. And it tells you that in the book of Maccabees. Matter of fact, let's get that. All right. Maccabees 3 and 48, I think it is, if I'm not mistaken. All right, you see, it says first Maccabees 3 and 48, and laid open the book of the law. All right, the book of the law is talking about the Bible. All right, wherein the heathen is talking about the other nations, the ones who aren't Israelites. All right. And it says, and laid open the book of law, wherein the heathen has sought to paint the likeness of their images. All right. So the heathen took our images, all right, and painted them to their likeness, so our images could look like them, all right. So they could deceive the people of the world and say that they're the true people of the Most High, man, like they do now, man. All right. That's the very first thing he started doing when he came back into power was whitewash everything. All right. It says right here, all right. And shall go out to deceive the nation. As soon as he came back into power, as soon as the white man came back into power, all right, because Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, he's the devil. The word devil means to deceive, all right, and that's exactly what he did, all right. When he came back into power, it says, and when 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, all right. Gog and Magog to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. All right. That's talking about Armageddon. All right. Gog and Magog, which is Russia. All right. Because Russia is going to be the main ones that are going to destroy America. All right. To gather them together to battle. You see, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea, man. All right. This is talking about Armageddon right here. All right. The the mountain of troops. All right. So it says verse 9. All right. It says and they went up on the breadth of the earth and compassed the camp of the saints about and the beloved city, and fire came down from God out of heaven and devoured them. All right. Which is talking about the nuclear missiles. All right. That fire that came from God out of heaven is talking about the nuclear missiles. Because again, Gog and Magog, which is Russia, they're going to be the main ones to shoot missiles over here in America. All right. It's going to be their allies as well. Gog and Magog. This is what it's talking about. Russia and Russia's allies. All right. They're going to shoot missiles over here to America. All right. It says Gog and Magog to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. And they went up on the breadth of the earth and compassed the camp of the saints about and the beloved city, and fire came down from God out of heaven and devoured them. Talking about the nuclear missiles, man. All right. And it says, verse 10, and the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. Talking about the nuclear missiles. All right. The false prophet is talking about the Roman Catholic Church, man. All right. It says, and the devil that deceived them were cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, which is talking about the nuclear missiles. All right. Where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. Talking about the nuclear fire, the lake of fire. All right. America being burnt to death, man. All right. America being utterly destroyed. All right. Hold on a second. Hold on. Give me a second. All right. So verse 11. All right. It says, and I saw a great white throne, and him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and the heaven fled away, and there was no place found. And there was found no place for them. Talking about Esau, Edom. All right. Because he's not ruling this planet Earth anymore, man. All right, there's no place found for Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Right, there's no place found for him. He's done, man. Right, he has fell from the rulership of this planet Earth. There's nothing left for him, man. He's done, man. He's going into slavery for 1,000 years. All right, and then he's going to be wiped away forever and ever. There's never going to be an Edomite ever again on the face of this earth after those 1,000 years of captivity, man. All right, it says, and I saw a great white throne, and him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and the heaven fled away, and there was found no place for them. Talking about Esau, Edom, his heaven, his rulership is no more. All right, verse 12, and it says, and I saw the dead, small and great, stand before God, and the books were open, and another book was open, which is the book of life, and the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books according to their works. All right, verse 13, and the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them, and they were judged every man according to their works. Yeah, so this is talking about people rising up out of their graves. All right, because some people are going to rise up out of their graves, all right, to be saved and beamed up from the nuclear to be saved, all right, from the nuclear missiles, to get beamed up into the chariots. All right, but some people are going to be raised up out of their graves just so it could be destroyed by the nuclear missiles, the nuclear fire. All right, let's read this again. It says, and the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them. Yeah, a lot of people are going to come out their graves. All right. Some people are going to come out their graves to be saved from the nuclear fire, the nuclear missiles, by getting beamed up into the chariots, and some are going to get raised up out of their graves so they could be destroyed by the nuclear fire. All right, let's prove that. All right, let's go. Let's get John, the 5th chapter. All right, John 5 and 28. It says, this is Yahushua speaking too. All right, John 5 and 28. All right, marvel not at this, for the hour is coming in the which all that are in the graves shall hear his voice and shall come forth. You see, that they have done. It says, and shall come forth they that have done good unto the resurrection of life. Yeah, so some are going to come out their graves, all right, just so they could be saved by the chariots, all right, from the nuclear fire. And they that have done evil unto the resurrection of damnation. So some are going to get raised up to get beamed up into the chariots, and some are going to get raised up to be destroyed by the nuclear fire. All right, you see. So it said, let's go back into Revelation 20 and finish it off real quick. It says, and the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and the death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them, and they were judged every man according to their works. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. Yeah, the lake of fire, all right, which is America being wiped off the face of this earth, is also known as the second death. All right, but let me read this again. It says, and death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. All right, because you Christians believe that the lake of fire is talking about hell, where a place where you burn forever. But it says, and death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. I thought the lake of fire was hell, according to you Christians. It says hell was cast into the lake of fire. So how can hell be cast into hell, man? All right, verse 15. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire, the nuclear missiles. All right, America being burnt up. All right, so that's it, man. That's the book of Revelations, the 20th chapter, man. All right, so Lord willing, this lesson was edifying, man. All right, Lord willing, it was edifying. All right, so what I want to say is, call Halayim Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rakah Kwitash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth and who rule well in this truth. Shalom to the 144,000 and the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel that scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Peace and mercy unto you. You Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, West Indians, Haitians, and Brazilians. You are the true Hebrew Israelites that the Bible speaks of. You are the true chosen people of the book. All right, so with that being said, until the next one, shalom, shalom.